Boys and girls, nerds and nerdettes, it's time for the final best of 3. And it's going to be on Overgrowth to start off. Either Bomber or MyuNgSiK moves on.
Yeah,
and I was able to say those names much more easily than when we closed the show out. I had a few minutes to practice in the mirror.
That's true. That's all he did.
That's all I did.
He made it. He was saying it, like watching into his iPhone, then playing back the video. No, it's not good enough.
It won't be good enough for the GSL Code S.
I told him, stop, Tasteless. You're wasting your time. You'll never be good at this. But you know, it's.
I think this is going to be a fantastic match. I'm not entirely sure how MyuNgSiK is going to play it.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll see. I think that, I mean, they would be a pretty good match, generally. The thing is, team kills in Korea are really weird.
Yeah.
I mean, personally don't like them, but we'll see if this is a good one.
To be frank, guys, they're pretty hard to cast, too, because we don't know what these guys talk about at home, how much they've shared with each other, what weird, weaknesses they know each other have. If you're in a team match, I mean, these guys have played each other hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of times.
Yeah. So, I mean, I guess we'll just see how this one goes. Tasteless. Overgrowth, King Sejong Station, Bonnie Research Station. I think it's pretty good maps overall.
And, I mean, expect anything. MyuNgSiK, pretty good with his build order picks. Anything can happen in a best of 3. Bomber, keep in mind as well, probably a little bit exhausted from that series against Life.
Could be.
You guys made the right choice. Tuning into GSL today. We've had some fantastic games. Here in the bottom left in the red, he is
SBENU Bomber.
in the bottom, or the upper right, in the blue.
SBENU MyuNgSiK.
All right. So here we are, Tasteless. Who would you rather go through?
You know, I don't care which one moves on. I think these guys are both so great. I'm not really rooting for anybody.
I would say, for me personally, like, I've known Bomber for a very, very long time, like him a lot. And, like, generally speaking, people just love to watch Bomber play. He's, like, such a great personality, such a good player, and he's, like, the oldest player. So I think I'd like to see him move on for all those reasons.
Sure.
But when I think about my selfish side, which is the side I favor, of course, MyuNgSiK is a Protoss, and I play Protoss, so I don't mind seeing more of him.
Now, I hear you on that one. It's definitely good to have some builds you can steal while you're casting.
Yeah,
that's the best.
Totally. So, and there's a lot of Terrans in this round of 16,
sure.
So I'm expecting a good, fair chunk of them to get through. Yeah, anyways,
we've definitely gone full circle here. The early Wings of Liberty GSL days where it was very Terran dominant.
Oh, yeah. It was crazy. It's pretty standard so far. Reaper expand versus just the most standard of one gate expands, perhaps. Oh, no, he has a second gas, so will still be a fast expansion, but MyuNgSiK does like to get those gases a little bit early sometimes. Be able to tech up a little bit.
Artosis.
Yes.
I love you.
Tasteless, I don't know if I'm ready for that level of commitment, but I value you deeply as a friend.
It doesn't matter, Artosis. I had to be here and tell the world. And I also drew a giant mural of your face on my wall by my computer desk that I want to show you.
Oh, that's excellent.
Yeah, I hope you think it's not creepy at all. Okay.
No, I think that's
I also
fantastic.
made this small doll of you out of the hairs that I've collected of you after they get done taking and doing your hair in the makeup room. I've collected all your hairs for about, I've known you in person for about 7 years, so 7 years of collecting your hair. And only just now here I've gotten the courage to tell you how I truly feel.
It's not weird at all.
And also that in my
producer could send down
in my bathroom, I also have nothing but photos of you plastered everywhere with the eyes cut out.
Oh, I have the same thing in my bathroom, actually. Of course, photos of me with my eyes cut out there.
Yeah.
It's creepy looking my own eyes, but I want photos of me everywhere.
I don't want you to think I'm creepy. I just had to tell you this, Artosis.
Thank you, Tasteless.
No problem. Here's a robotics facility coming up.
Yeah, very standard stuff.
Yeah, definitely doesn't tell us too much about this build.
Yeah.
It's still a little bit of build ambiguity. I do like the Reaper Scout, by the way, just looping all the way around to see if they could spot a hidden Stargate.
Yeah, I like the fact that MyuNgSiK has skipped going for Stargate here, because he very often likes to go Stargate, but Bomber specifically is one of the Terrans that you might see, because like right now everyone likes to go directly into Factory and do like Widow Mine drops or maybe some Hellion harassment, that type of thing. Bomber is definitely one of these old school guys. It's like, no, you know, sometimes I just like to make a bunch of barracks units and go. And when you go Oracle, something like that can get a little bit dicey to deal with sometimes.
Certainly, yeah.
But with a build like this, with the Robo and whatnot, I think you're going to feel sometimes a little bit safer against a wider range of builds, I guess. Not as much can pop out and scare you. So, I kind of like it as far as almost a mind game build goes.
Well, he's going to be pumping out a lot of Marines and Marauders here as time passes. Both these builds are quite passive. There's not really any way that that MyuNgSiK can come in here and do any damage at all to Bomber, and it would be unwise for Bomber to try anything to MyuNgSiK. So we're going to have a little bit of downtime.
Looks like it's just Colossus tech coming up. You know, Bomber obviously making some units, making sure that Oracles don't come in and ruin his day right now. So, all's good. Nice slow game to start out. Both players leaving each other alone quite a bit.
So the eBay is going to come down here, and this game will continue to be a fairly passive game. It could be either party that would expand first here.
Oh, to the
it
third
depends.
base,
Yeah, MyuNgSiK, I think, might expand a little bit later. We'll see, since he's going to be cranking out Colossi. Normally, if they're getting a bunch of Colossi, you tend not to try to expand at the same time, since Terran then, I think, can punish you. But we've seen people do it.
He could be going for an all-in here, I want to point out, because we don't see a Forge or a Twilight. Because you never go just Robo, because that isn't enough to do anything for a long term. But the fact that he skipped those, and look, he's adding 3 gates right now. Okay, yeah, it really looks like it's like an all-in. This could be almost like a blind counter too, because you know, the starport is so late for Bomber here. Like, if he knows that Bomber really prefers to play this way in the matchup, this would be a very decent way to counter it.
5 gates are about to finish here, and it's going to be a lot more warping in. And a bit anticlimactic there, but he did at least milk out that Nexus cannon. But yeah, the way that he was positioned, he would have taken all of his force fields, but there would have been a giant arc.
Yeah.
Probably locking that out. The Colossus doing decent damage and backing up. No real way for Terran to hit that Colossus if it's microed properly. And now we see he's going to move up and around over here. Now this could go badly for MyuNgSiK.
I think he wants to catch the army coming in here, because normally you will check for a third base, right?
Oh man, bit of a miss micro there from Bomber.
Yeah,
he added that on an attack move, but not everything was going in the right direction. What is this? Is he going to be able to intercept this on the way down?
Oh, he went the wrong way.
Well, oh my God, he's going to be able to intercept some of this stuff. Oh, there's stalkers down here for some reason. And this is a complete... Oh my God, that was so owned.
Yeah, this has to be an all-in from here. He killed way too many units.
That was perfect.
Well, it already was, but yeah, he is so far ahead right now.
Look at this, there's 4 bunkers being thrown up right over here.
Yeah, Bomber is like making 3 Vikings at a time right now, but can he live long enough to actually get any damage on these Colossus? This is going to be so painful.
Okay, perfect force fields there. He just needs to get one more on the back there. Right like that to get the SCVs to be blocked out.
Yeah, and don't forget, he can just kind of outrange everything as soon as Thermal Lance is done, which will just be in a couple seconds here.
And then when the Thermal Lance is done, this is where it gets pretty tough for Terran.
Yeah, certainly.
And as the SCVs come up to try to repair, he can just poke in again and get a force field off there.
Try and pick up the Colossus. Nice micro back there by MyuNgSiK.
The damage is still being dealt. Now look, he continues to pull back shaving off a few more SCVs.
Yeah, that's a lot so far.
Bunker barely repaired in time. That thing almost burnt down. He's going to wait for the next warp-in round. Really, the Zealots are here to sponge up. And note at the production tab, guys, a Dark Shrine is coming here.
Smart move when you think about it. When he's killed so many SCVs already, Bomber cannot afford to just randomly make missile turrets here, and he can't afford to not be dropping mules, or his economy just won't be able to keep up.
Do you think the probe right there that we saw, is that a decoy? Because sometimes really good players will actually put a probe there, so even when it scans, it looks like there's a chance the Nexus might be made any second, but he's just kind of like, not synced up with his minerals, because I don't know if it's worth it for MyuNgSiK to actually go back and play a normal game from here. I think he has to try to go in for the kill.
I don't know. It could be either way,
you can't
actually.
go GTs. There's no forge, right? Okay, no, sorry, there is a forge.
Well,
There's a forge
he's adding it now.
Well, in that case, then he is going to expand. I didn't know there was a forge making. Never mind.
What gets me a little bit is the charge before blink, but he even does this against Zerg quite a bit. So this might be like he just loves charge zealots type of thing, but I guess if you're taking that base, the reason why people don't just go Robo into third normally is it's hard to defend against drops. And without Blink Stalkers, that's very, very hard.
Dude,
so,
he's going to DT warp in the main. Look at this. This is evil. Yeah. He's also got another DT. I believe that's warp in somewhere else. There it is. So he's going to send these DTs into the main. This is going to do a lot of damage, especially if he splits them. I don't believe there's a turret in the second base. We were talking about that a little bit back there.
Yeah.
Probably doesn't have necessary defense. No, he doesn't have anything, man.
God, he doesn't even have energy.
Oh, man.
This is like game ending.
You could just cancel the Nexus here.
Yeah. All he has to do is hold on against this attack that's coming to his base, and he's got it.
Now, in fairness, this is a pretty terrifying army. Okay, that's a great play. Just send that DT out there. Get a scan out. You can always make another.
It's like, well, he knows he already doesn't have scans, so a DT on this army is so good.
Yeah.
You're never clean up.
You either kill this DT that's helping to defend, or you save your main, and we already know he's not going to save his main.
Dude, it's still hundreds of damage. It's so crazy. Okay, well, here we go.
Look at that, the hallucinated Colossus over there. I love that. The innumerable number of Vikings mowing down the remainder of these Colossi over here. It's now just down to the force fields and the Immortals and Stalkers and Zealots on the low ground. Now, the force fields, might I point out, are very good, and that's going to close it out. An impossible win there. Bomber, no way to do that. MyuNgSiK pulls out with a win on game number 1.
Yeah.
And, guys, you got to keep in mind, if MyuNgSiK wins here today, who can he not beat?
Maru.
Who can he not? Well, seriously, though.
No, yeah, really.
Yeah.
It's, MyuNgSiK is really playing very, very well. Bomber did get a set of units trapped. I was really surprised when he stimmed and ran back to the 4th base area. Why did he do that?
Well, I think that lends itself to what, I think lost this whole game is he pushed out, yes, the Nexus cannon triggered, but you really got to be careful with an army like that. You don't have medevacs with that. You can't pick it up. Protoss, you don't typically think of them as the mobile army. And I know some nerds going to be like, but tasteless, Stalkers can blanket Colossus, can move up and down hills. But no, I mean, really, normally look at the Terran army with medevacs, stim, boost on the medevacs. They're mobile. But Terran is in its most fragile state before medevacs.
Yeah.
Terran, and it was like this always in StarCraft, all the way back into Brood War. Until, like I said, Brood War, it was more about having stim when you try to move out in a lot of moments. But you really can't make a single mistake. You're actually gambling with a lot if you move out with your army like that. They don't get back home.
Well, especially when he doubled back in. He was already being chased from the 3rd, and then he's like, you know what, I'm just going to stim and run up here towards the 4th. It's like, well, you think he has a 4th base? Because I don't think he has a 4th base. I don't think anyone thinks he has a 4th base.
It was a weird play.
Yeah, but I think that's really what did it. If he had all those extra units, I think he maybe holds.
That was one of those, like, 1 in 50 games where bad placement with the army. I don't think we're going to see it again here from Bomber tonight. In the upper left, in the red,
SBENU Bomber.
in the bottom right, in the blue,
SBENU MyuNgSiK.
Alrighty, see if Bomber can do a bit better on this map.
Yeah, I definitely don't think we're going to see anything at all like that last game, where the army is just out there for whatever reason. It's a good way to think about it too, guys. There are certain rules you have to follow. As complex as StarCraft is, you can occasionally break down certain parts of it into these very, very simple rules, right? Like, Terran don't really get to do much of anything against Protoss until they have medevacs. In fact, Terran don't get to do much against anybody until they have medevacs, in general.
Yeah.
You're usually playing it safe. Yes, there are some weird things you can do with the proxying barracks and stuff like that, but generally speaking, if you don't have medevacs, and there's a reason why we don't see many players try anything like that, is because it's really easy to screw up. And if you lose that many units early on, if for some reason you didn't have medevacs to begin with early on, you're trying to do stuff, that means you were investing more into just this bulky ground army, which really would only be good at defending back at home. And
yeah, it's why it's not really a big part of the metagame right now. It's just you don't normally catch them and do too much damage with it. Sometimes you do, and it's a really quick free win. Sometimes you just do like a moderate amount of damage and you get a decent lead and fight the game out normally. But yeah, it's the commitment that you're going through with such late medevacs is a big, big deal.
Now, the command center started here. Bomber going for one of the greedier builds here. We can see he's attempting to intercept the would-be second base by planting an eBay there, and that is not going to happen.
Does get that Nexus up. Bomber confirms. And, well, looks like just some macro openings here. So, we'll see how this ends up going. Look at this. Double barracks added here for Bomber. Huh.
Well, I mean, this game, it doesn't have to look like the last game, but at least the build he's doing, he's definitely not investing into getting those medevacs early.
Yeah.
Now, some of this might also be based off the fact that MyuNgSiK, he's willing to cheese. He'll do a lot of crazy stuff. And doing builds like this occasionally as Terran can allow you to survive most anything early on, because you have that bulk army. So I'm assuming if Bomber doesn't move out here, and speak of the devil, here we go. He's going to get a Stargate now. So he might be okay against this. I guess if it's an Oracle build. By the way, this is like the last spot you would ever look for a proxy for, ever. This is the best spot to proxy after the game's been out for over 4 years.
Yeah,
okay,
I was going to say, I'm like, that's
4 year later meta.
Kind of a funny place.
No one's going to look for that there.
It's not particularly close. It's not particularly well hidden. Like, if Bomber happened to go for like a medevac type build, he'd fly right over it. It's like where you enter the natural.
Yeah, we have to. Exactly. What's funny about it is that
it's going to work perfectly here.
It's certainly not particularly close, right? Like, he could have made that in the natural, and he would have saved like, he would have had an additional second and a half of fly time.
Yeah.
But at the same time,
you're not scouting that.
Yeah, you're not going to scout that because it's just the spot that nobody looks at.
Yeah.
Because it's impractical to do a proxy. And this is sort of that weird moment where you get a strat that it's being executed in such a funky way that it will slip through the cracks of even the most diligent player.
He's making a Void Ray.
Oh my
the hell is going on here?
What?
He's making a Void Ray.
Now the thing is,
Terran, the race Terran.
What is this, 1998?
Seriously.
This is... Okay, well, this is going to... Yeah, it's like this base is made out of rubber, man. This Oracle bounces right out of here.
Yeah. MyuNgSiK does not really lose Oracles early. He's
pretty good with
He doesn't even care too much. Well, I'm sure he cares, but like, a lot of people are like, I've got to get some damage off this Oracle, but like, I don't feel like MyuNgSiK is one of those. He keeps his Oracles alive a really long time. I think probably based off the fact that, again, a lot of us think of him as like a sky toss. Like, he's got a lot of experience with these flying units.
Is he just going to do a 2-base all in?
Yeah, he has to be if he's
just
making
like
voids.
three Void Rays and a bunch of like Zealots and Stalkers or something?
Yeah, I think it has to be like the Void Rays are just going to help target bunkers, probably. Because like the Void Ray is the biggest waste of gas you can have going into a long game against Terran. They're just like so utterly trash. They're just like, there's not any redeeming factor about Void Rays.
Well, what's funny about this, we were talking about medevacs and how that is literally where a medevac would fly through.
Yeah.
well, we don't see a quick rush to medevacs in this game, so he's not going to find it.
Yeah.
Oddly enough, though, I guess if you had 2 Void Rays right there, you could theoretically gun down a medevac because it's on its way over there and then do the all-in anyways. So
yeah, that's true.
Just don't know if that was part of the plan, but I guess you could sort of do that anyways. So.
Totally. You're very right about that. They would kill the medevac very quickly. That's funny. Well, he's getting a lot of gate stasis. He's going to have 4 voids.
This is
I wonder if he'll wait till the 4 voids to hit.
Well, I think he's really waiting more for the 5 gates to finish.
Yeah, for sure.
And then this other Void Ray can just get there.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I mean, I think he's going to kill him with it. That one bunker will die in, like, 0 time.
That will die at light speed.
You know the moment where the Big Bang occurred, how it happened, like, instantaneously, basically? That's what's going to happen to this bunker. If he turns those Void Rays on, if he flips the switch tasteless.
Ready, and die. He doesn't even need to flip the switch, he's saving it.
Yeah, he is saving it.
Oh my god, the force fields are good.
Oh man,
this is a beautiful thing if you're a Protoss player. Look at that. Got the pylon about to finish. Oh, hello.
Oh, jeez.
It's not done yet, guys. So the medevacs are out. There's only 2, by the way, which is going to make shuttling up and down the force-fielded ramp much harder. Now, notice the patience here of Bomber. He has to wait. If he's going to deal with this, he has to be very, very careful. Also, all Bomber has to do is survive this attack. The question is, will he do that?
Yeah, I don't think so, Tasteless.
I don't believe so. Now with 4 Void Rays.
Way too much here, and the Void Rays clean up absolutely.
GG! MyuNgSiK did it!
Wow.
And by the way, I got to say, MyuNgSiK was really a really impressive player here today.
Yeah, he's really, really legit good, and I hope that right now people can start to learn this and actually respect him as a top Protoss that I feel like he basically is becoming right now. Really, really strong play. Plays his own brand of StarCraft. Very entertaining guy. Bomber on the other hand, unfortunately. Yeah, I mean,
you know, in a way, I do feel that Bomber would be a guy that would at least get to round of 16, but I would be pretty impressed if he got to a round of 8, considering the lineup of players that we have here.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. It's sad though, because he is such a good player. He's been such a good player for so long. People would love to see him do something like take down a Code S.
But by the way, I love that good sportsmanship there. Yeah. Both give each other a hug. They are teammates and friends, but it's a hard day, man.
You just beat me in a tournament. I give you the finger.
Not just any tournament. It's Code S, man. I mean, that's pretty rare, and it's going to be a while before we get to see him again.
Yeah, Bomber definitely someone that I would favor coming right back into Code S, though. There's like.
For sure.
I do put him amongst like the top 32 players in the world, so I think he's definitely...
This was a fantastic day, by the way.
Yeah, certainly.
We had a lot of really good games.
Some upsets.
Very different. Yeah. Cool strategies, especially by MyuNgSiK. Cool execution tactically there by Maru.
Some one-sided stuff, too. The Maru just killing nerds.
One-sided games are not always bad, though.
Yeah, no, these were good ones. Yeah.
And that placement of that Stargate, that was...
That was a weird one.
I think that's the one and only time we'll see that.
Yeah.
Ever.
I'll agree with you on that.
We're going to be going.
A weird spot.
We're going to be going to an interview shortly with MyuNgSiK and see what his thoughts are now that he is into the round of 8, where the tournament format does start to change. And I mean, you are very close to becoming first place when you get that far.
Yeah. Yeah. Well. We'll see how he can do going on forward. Round of 8, that's big. That's a seed for next season, by the way.
Our player must be very happy right now. To get out second is MyuNgSiK. Congratulations. He says thank you. You smiled for the first time after that final set.
이기긴 했는데 제가 이번에 16강은 감정이입을 좀 안 하려고 했는데
So I won the match.
제가 승자전에서 이겼으면은
I was trying to keep ruling out my emotions when I was in the round of 16.
이렇게 된 것 같아서 좀 저 자신한테 화가 많이 나는 것 같아요.
I'm a little bit sad because if I won the winner's match, both Bomber and I could have advanced out of the set.
마지막 최종전.
I really didn't want to face off against Bomber at all.
조금 전에 들으니까
네.
최지성 선수도 약간 이제 맞춤으로 준비한 게 있었다 이렇게 말씀하셨어요. 좀 자세히 좀 들어볼게요.
제가 우주관문
You told me that you
플레이를
prepared
자주
specific build
해서
for Bomber.
지성이 형이
Tell us
약간
about
그런
that.
거를 노리고 스팀
Well, I
방식
use a lot of
러시를 하신 것
Stargates.
같은데
네.
제가
So I think
때마침
Bomber knew my
좋게
strategy.
로봇공학 시설을 올려서
Or my style
거신으로
of play.
손쉽게 막고 이긴 것 같아요.
I was
네. 오늘 그런 최지성 선수를
I was able to put my robo in the right
역으로
spot and defend
잘
that
생각을
attack
해서
with this
경기를
poke
가져온
out.
김명수 선수인데
and that no
오늘
medevac
이승현
army.
선수와
네.
경기 정말 짜릿했습니다. 어떠셨어요? 이겼을 때?
So let's talk a little bit about
또
life. How did you feel when you
솔직히
actually beat him in that
말해서
best of three?
단위 연구소는 무조건 이기고
네.
조난지
Well, I was very confident
나는 이긴다 이런
on Bonnie
생각으로
Research Station
왔거든요.
specifically,
근데
and I thought if I just
제가 게이트 지어놓은데 3회 처리가
I knew that I'd be able to win against life if I won there.
내가 준비는 잘했구나 하고
I saw the third hatchery
그 경기
where it was
진짜
placed,
멋있었어요. 그
and I
박수 좀
felt that
쳐주세요.
at that moment that I was going to win for sure. She says, and he says he wants to give himself some applause for that, and so they both clapped.
이게 사실
Because life is slumping.
예전부터 좀 가전제에서 한번 써야겠다 하고 있었는데
So how did you prepare for your strategies today?
제가 개인 리그에서 아직 못 썼는데 이승현 선수가 들어오는
I've been having a hard time for a while now. I wasn't able to use a lot of my strats effectively against life in the individual league. He does use drones to scout a lot, which is one of the reasons why I picked the builds that I did pick against him.
사실 1경기에서도 1세트에서도 이 상대를 보면서 계속해서 이
네.
분간기로 상대를 보면서 맞춤으로 계속 따라가는 플레이가 먼저인데
So in the first set, you were able to scout your opponent quite well with that warp prism. And then you use that warp prism continuously to keep checking up on him.
이승현 선수가 유닛을 좀 언제 찍을지 잘 몰라서 좀 시야 확보를
I didn't really know life was going to be producing his attacking units.
쓰면서 한 것 같아요.
I just wanted to make sure that I was on top of peeking and checking, and that's why I used that warp prism back there.
많이 아쉬울 것 같더라고요.
네.
어떠셨어요?
Tell us a little bit about the match against Amaru. How disappointed were you?
이런 빌드인데 요즘 레더에서 잘 안 당해봐서 제가
He does 13 gas and 15 gas builds a lot.
봐도 전진 팩토리 정찰을
And in
해야
fact, a lot of
되는데
players on the ladder right now don't use that. So it was a bit of a new style of play to face off against.
좀 힘없이
People don't really do that against me ever. So I really ruled that build out as a possibility. So I wasn't able to prepare well when he chose a strategy like that. And I think that means that Maru is just that good of a player. And I just want to say good job to him today.
일단 첫 8강이에요. 첫 16강이었는데
It's your first round of 8.
까지 이뤘어요. 와.
How do you feel?
정말
Wow, you must be really happy.
실제로 우승까지 오늘 인터뷰 전에 하신 말씀처럼
Do you think that you could become a champion of the GSL Code S?
좀 게임 경기를 기본기가 탄탄하기보다 경기 준비를 잘하는 스타일이라 막 지인분들에게도
I think I'm good at preparing specific builds against specific players, and I also feel that I have an advantage in a long, drawn-out tournament such as a GSL, where I have a lot of time to prepare. So I do think this is a good opportunity for me to advance deep.
정말 잘 어울리는 별명이라는 생각이 드는데 자 이번에 정말 오늘 밤에 계속 선수해서 잠이 안 올 것 같아요. 마지막으로 앞으로 팬분들께 어떤 모습 보여드릴까요?
She says, I bet it's going to be hard for you to sleep tonight because you're so happy and excited about today. Any final comments to say to your fans?
솔직히 말해서 개인 리그가
Now that I'm in the round of 8,
올라가는 건 아니고 팀원들이 도움이 많아서 경기
I'm going to
준비가
need a lot of
잘
help from my
돼서
teammates
올라갈
in
수
order
있을
to
거라고
do well in the
생각하거든요.
individual league.
연습 도와주는 팀원들한테
So,
솔직히 미안한 부분도 많은데
I do want to say first and foremost thank you to my teammates and our sponsor SBENU.
말해주고 싶고
And I do feel bad for
약할 때가 있었는데
my teammates because they did devote so much time to help me practice for this tournament.
크게 특별한 사람은 아니어도 저한테 힘이 돼주시는 분들이 정말 많거든요.
So I want to
그분들한테
also thank
진심으로 감사하다고
the people that give me strength out there to go on and to play well as a pro gamer.
마지막까지 명경기 함께 펼친 최지성 선수에게 한마디 할까요?
Any comments to Bomber,
솔직히
who helped you advance today?
제가 같은 팀이라 스타일을 알아서 좀 쉽게 이기게 된 것 같은데
Since he's my teammate, I knew his style well,
맛있는 거
and I was actually able to win a little bit more easily against him with that good read. So anyways, I want to take him out for a nice dinner tonight after the matches.
자,
for
이렇게
dinner and
오늘
drinks.
멋진 명경기를 만들면서 8강
It is done.
It is indeed.
Code A, or Code S, Group A.
Yep. Definitely one of the groups of death, no doubt about it.
And I would say a group of upsets here.
Yeah, Life not making out has to be considered an upset.
And
no
I think even for some people, Bomber not beating MyuNgSiK might have been a surprise if you haven't been following a ton of StarCraft and seeing how well he's been playing lately.
Yeah, Bomber definitely a household name. MyuNgSiK absolutely not. So, really cool results. One Terran World Protoss through so far, off the sides of the bracket, of course.
This is what the round of 8 looks like so far. 2 spots secured, 6 more to go. Maru over here, going to be in day 1 of the round of 8. And MyuNgSiK going to be on day 2.
Yeah.
And I guess that does it. What a fantastic day. We're going to pop on camera.
Yeah,
That's why they paid me the big bucks, Sartosis.
Right. Guys, tune in Friday, because we have Group D coming up. It's going to be Parting, Gumiho, Rogue, and Fantasy.
Yeah, it's going to be a blast. And then we'll be doing the next 2 groups the following week on Wednesday and Friday. So thank you guys so much for joining us. For Artosis and myself, we love you guys, and we will see you in 2 days. Good night.